Welcome to Love Lies Chronicles.
I'd love to know what you think. Every comment helps me make the next story better. Subscribe to stay tuned. The words left her mouth like she was commenting on the weather. Matter of fact, like she just told me we were out of milk or that it might rain tomorrow. You're lucky I haven't cheated on you yet. Plenty of men want me. I stood near the kitchen island, dish towel still in my hand. The apartment was quiet except for the muted television flickering against the wall. Nicole sat on the couch scrolling through her phone, wine glass balanced on the coffee table beside her. She didn't even look up when she said it. I didn't respond right away, just stood there feeling the words settle over me. My mind started clicking through things I'd been ignoring for months. The way she was always on that phone. How she'd been working late 3 times a week since August. The new clothes that showed up in her closet. Her suddenly starting to go to the gym at 6 in the morning. The way she'd flinch when I tried to touch her shoulder. How she stopped asking about my day. 2 months without sex. That expensive perfume I'd never seen her wear at home. It wasn't just what she said. It was how she said it. Like she expected me to absorb it the way I'd absorbed everything else. Like I'd apologize or beg or try to prove myself worthy of her staying. Something clicked into place in my head. A decision crystallizing. I set down the dish towel and walked across the living room. Picked up her phone from beside her on the couch. Held it out to her. Call 1. She looked up for the first time. Confusion crossed her face. What? Call 1. Right now? One of these men who wants you. I'll help you pack while you talk. Nicole laughed, but there was uncertainty in it. Stop being dramatic. I'm not being dramatic. You said plenty of men want you. Call 1. She didn't take the phone. Just stared at me like I was speaking another language, waiting for me to back down, to apologize, to make this go away. I didn't move, held the phone steady. 5 seconds passed, 10, 20. Her hand trembled slightly when she reached for her wine glass instead. I set the phone on the coffee table in front of her, turned and walked toward our bedroom. Behind me, I heard her let out an exasperated breath. The sound of her picking up her laptop. She thought I was going to sulk. That I'd come back in 10 minutes with an apology. That was our pattern. She pushed, I absorbed, we moved on. Not this time. I slid open her side of the walk-in closet. The scent of that perfume hit me immediately. I pulled out the 3 large suitcases we kept on the top shelf. Set them on the bed one by one. The zippers sounded loud as I opened them. I started with her jeans. Folded each pair carefully. Her workout clothes came next. Those expensive sets she'd bought last month. Casual tops. The sweaters she wore when the temperature finally dropped. I wasn't angry. Wasn't throwing things around. Each item got folded and placed with care. Focusing on the texture of fabric under my fingers kept me steady. Kept me from second-guessing. The second suitcase filled with her nicer clothes. Dresses she wore when she went out with the girls. That black cocktail dress from last month that I hadn't been invited to see her wear. Blouses for work. Designer jeans. Some of these smelled like her regular perfume. Others smelled like the new one. Third suitcase for everything else. Shoes, 6 pairs including the heels she loved. The silk pajamas I'd given her for Christmas that still had the tags on them. Underwear and bras from her dresser. Socks. Her jewelry box placed carefully on top. That's when I noticed her planner on the nightstand. The leather-bound one I'd bought for her birthday 2 years ago. She used to show me entries. Plans we'd made. Trips we wanted to take. Restaurant reservations marked with little hearts. I picked it up. The leather was warm from sitting in the lamplight. Flipped it open to October. Thursday nights marked with just the letter M. Every single Thursday for 8 weeks. Tomorrow was Thursday. Another M scheduled for 7:30. Saturday the 14th had been crossed out, replaced with Warehouse District, 9 p.m. That was the night she'd told me she had to work late. Her office was in the opposite direction. Next Tuesday showed dinner reservation, 7 p.m., with a phone number written underneath. Area code 512. Local. I turned back a page. September had them too. Different letters scattered through the weeks. M appeared most often, but there was also a C. And twice, someone marked only as R. The handwriting was hers. Neat blue ink, careful loops on the letters. This wasn't accidental. This was methodical. A calendar of a life I knew nothing about. I set the planner back exactly where I'd found it. My hands were steady. I expected her to come in, to ask what I was doing, to tell me to stop. Minutes passed. The only sound was my own movement and the distant murmur of the television. She didn't come. She didn't think I was serious. I went to the bathroom, Got a toiletry bag from under the sink. Her skincare products that cost more than our car payment. Makeup bag. Hair tools and brushes. Her birth control pills. I noticed the pack was current. Toothbrush, contact lens case. Everything she'd need to not come back. I zipped up all 3 suitcases. The sound felt final. I grabbed her phone charger and laptop charger from the nightstand. Added them to the pile. As I picked up the last suitcase, something slipped out from underneath it. A photograph. Old, edges worn. I picked it up. Us at the lake. 3 years ago, maybe 4. Nicole in a sundress, hair wet from swimming. My arm around her shoulders. We were both laughing at something. I couldn't remember what. Couldn't remember who took the picture. But I remembered that day. How the water had been cold and clear. How she'd pushed me in fully clothed and I'd pulled her in after me. How we'd stayed until sunset. The photo was bent at one corner, like it had been held many times. I turned it over. Nicole's handwriting on the back. Lake Travis. Perfect day. I set it on the dresser. Couldn't bring myself to pack it. Couldn't bring myself to throw it away either. Then I lifted the first suitcase off the bed. The wheels clicked against the hardwood floor as I rolled it into the living room. Set it by the front door. Went back for the second one. Nicole still had her back to me, fingers moving across her laptop keyboard. The third suitcase joined the others. I placed the toiletry bag on top, went to the coat closet, and pulled out her fall jacket and wool coat. Draped them over the suitcases. Then I walked to the kitchen, got a glass of water, took a slow drink. Finally turned to face her. What are you doing? She'd looked up from her laptop. Her hands had gone still. The 3 suitcases finally registered in her peripheral vision. I didn't answer right away, just watched her process what she was seeing. You said plenty of men want you. I'm making it easier for you to go find one. Her expression shifted from confusion to disbelief. She let out a short laugh. You're being ridiculous. Am I? I gestured to the suitcases. You have everything you need. Clothes, shoes, toiletries. Your chargers are in the side pocket. I even packed your birth control. Brad, I'm not kicking you out, but I'm not going to sit here and wait for you to decide if I'm worth staying for. She closed her laptop, set it on the couch beside her, stood up with her arms crossing. Okay, you've made your point. Very cute. Now put my stuff back. I didn't move. I was joking. Obviously. Stop being so sensitive. Were you joking? She didn't answer right away. Shifted her weight from one foot to the other. I waited. The silence stretched between us. 10 seconds. 20. She huffed. Fine. I wasn't joking. But I didn't actually mean. You meant it. More silence. Her jaw tightened. So what? You're kicking me out? Over something I said? You said I'm lucky you haven't cheated. Like it's a favor you're doing me. Like you're already halfway out the door, and I should be grateful you're still here. Her face flushed. I didn't mean it like that. Then how did you mean it? Her phone buzzed on the coffee table between us. A text notification lit up the screen. I wasn't trying to look, but the preview was right there. Can't wait to see you tomorrow night. Followed by a wine glass emoji and a winking face. Nicole's eyes darted to the phone, then to me, then back to the phone. She grabbed it quickly, too quickly, unlocked it with her thumb and dismissed the notification. Who's that? A friend. Which friend? Does it matter? It does when they're texting you at 10 o'clock on a Wednesday night talking about tomorrow. Nicole stood up straighter. It's just someone from work. We have a project meeting. With wine emojis? Her jaw set. It's an inside joke. Right. I walked to the kitchen. Got another glass of water just to have something to do with my hands. Nicole stayed where she was, phone clutched against her chest now like a shield. You're really going to do this? Her voice had an edge to it. You're going to go through my phone now? That's what this has come to. I'm not going through anything, but you're holding it like you're protecting state secrets. Because you're acting paranoid. Am I? She didn't answer, just stood there breathing hard, still holding that phone. I set my water glass down. You know what? Keep your secrets. Keep your inside jokes. Keep whatever else you've been keeping from me for the past 6 months. Brad. No. You made it clear where we stand. You're lucky I haven't cheated yet. You have plans you won't tell me about. You take off your wedding ring. You flinch when I touch you. And now someone's texting you about seeing you tomorrow night. It's not what you think. What do I think? Nicole's grip on the phone loosened slightly. You think I'm cheating. Are you? I told you already. No. But you want to. She didn't deny it. That was answer enough. She uncrossed her arms. Tried to soften her stance. You're blowing this completely out of proportion. It was just a comment. I was annoyed. You're acting like I actually cheated on you. Should I wait until you do? Nicole scoffed. That's not fair. What's not fair is being in a marriage with someone who holds other men over my head like a threat. Maybe if you paid more attention to me, I wouldn't have said it. What does that mean? You know what it means. When's the last time you took me out? When's the last time you made me feel wanted? You turn me down every time I suggest something. Because your suggestions are boring. Dinner at the same 3 restaurants. Movies. Your brother's house. So you'd rather go out without me. I didn't say that. You didn't have to. She started pacing around the living room, picked up her wine glass, realized it was empty, set it down harder than necessary, ran a hand through her hair. This is insane. You're being insane. I packed your things. You're free to go find someone more exciting. Nicole whipped around. I don't want to find someone else. Then why bring it up? I walked over to where her phone sat on the coffee table, picked it up, held it out to her again. Call your friends. Tell them you need a place to stay. Or call one of these men who want you. Your choice. She didn't take the phone. Her hands stayed at her sides. I started scrolling through her contacts. Stop it. She lunged forward and grabbed the phone from me. We stood close now, face to face. For the first time, Nicole looked uncertain. Not angry, not dismissive, actually unsure. Her voice came out quieter. What do you want me to say? I want you to be honest. I am being honest. No, you're being cruel. There's a difference. Her breathing got faster. You want to talk about cruel? You're the one throwing me out. I'm not throwing you out. I'm calling your bluff. It wasn't a bluff. Good. Then take your suitcases and go. You don't mean that. Try me. Nicole's eyes went to the suitcases by the door. 3 large bags packed full. Evidence that I'd actually done this. That I was serious. She looked back at me. You really packed everything. I did. That must have taken you a while. About 20 minutes. The implication sat between us. 20 minutes, and she never came to check. 20 minutes, and she didn't think I'd actually do it. Her voice got softer, almost wounded. I can't believe you do this to us. I didn't do this. You did. The moment you decided our marriage was something you could threaten me with. I wasn't threatening you. What do you call it then? She didn't answer. Nicole sat back down on the couch, put her face in her hands. I don't know how we got here. I do. She looked up. Enlighten me then. You stopped being my wife somewhere along the way. You turned into someone who resents me for existing. That's not true, isn't it? When's the last time you kissed me without me initiating it? Silence. When's the last time you asked me how my day was and actually listened to the answer? More silence. When's the last time you chose me? Over your phone, over your friends, over whatever else you'd rather be doing? She stood up again, her voice rising. So I'm the bad guy because I have a life outside of you? No, you're the bad guy because you treat me like I'm an inconvenience in yours. That's not. You don't wear your ring anymore. Nicole's hand instinctively went to her left hand. The ring was in her purse. She'd been taking it off for weeks. I watched her try to form an excuse. I was going to get it resized. No, you weren't. Her face flushed. Don't tell me what I was or wasn't going to do. You stopped wearing it because you wanted people to think you're single. That's not why. Then why? Because sometimes I want to feel like I'm not married, okay? Is that what you want to hear? I nodded slowly. There it is. Nicole realized what she'd just admitted. Tried to backtrack. I didn't mean. You did. You meant it. Just like you meant the comment about cheating. I'm frustrated. With me? With everything. Then go. I'm not going to keep you somewhere you don't want to be. Her voice wavered. I don't want to go? Then why are you making me feel like you do? I don't know. That's not good enough. What do you want me to say? I want you to tell me the truth. Are you done with this marriage? The pause felt endless. I watched her struggle. Part of her wanted to say yes. Part of her wasn't ready to admit it. Are you done with it? She asked instead. I asked you first. I think I've been done for a while. The words hung in the air. I felt something settle in my chest. Not surprise. Just confirmation. How long is a while? I don't know. 6 months? Maybe longer. And you were just going to. What? Keep living here? Keep pretending? I wasn't pretending. What were you doing then? I was trying to figure out how to leave without being the bad guy. I laughed, but there was no humor in it. So you thought you'd make me the bad guy instead? No. You pushed and pushed until I'd either break or do something you could point to, something that would justify you leaving. Her eyes welled up. That's not what I was doing. Isn't it? She was crying now, not dramatic sobs, just tears streaming down her face. I'm sorry. For what specifically? For all of it. That's not specific enough. For checking out. For treating you like you don't matter. For saying what I said tonight. Do you mean it? I don't know. At least you're being honest. Nicole wiped her eyes. What do you want from me? I wanted you to want to be here. I wanted you to choose me because you actually wanted to, not because you felt obligated. I didn't want that. At the beginning. And now I don't know what I want. I walked to the window, looked out at the city lights below. Austin at night, everything lit up and moving. People living their lives while mine was falling apart in this apartment. Who's M? The question came out quieter than I intended. Nicole went still. What? M. Thursday nights. Every week for 2 months. I turned to face her. I saw your planner. Her face went pale. You went through my things. I was packing your things. It was on the nightstand. That's different than reading my. Who is M? Nicole's mouth opened. Closed. She looked at the floor. A friend. Try again. I mean it. A friend from the gym. What's his name? Why does it matter? Because you've been seeing him every Thursday for 8 weeks, and I have a right to know who my wife has been spending her time with. Michael. The name came out barely above a whisper. Michael what? Carter. His name is Michael Carter. I nodded slowly. Felt something slot into place. The same Michael Carter who texted you tonight about seeing you tomorrow? Nicole's eyes widened. How did you? Your phone was on the coffee table. The preview came up. I wasn't snooping. I was standing right there. She sat down heavily, covered her face with her hands. Nothing happened. You've said that. But you meet him every Thursday. We just talk. About what? About everything. Life. Work. He listens. I listen. No, you don't. Her voice got stronger. You hear me talk, but you don't really listen. You're always on your phone or thinking about something else or waiting for me to finish so you can tell me about your day. That's not fair, isn't it? When's the last time you asked me how I really felt about something? Not just, how was your day, but actually wanted to know? I thought about it. Tried to remember. Came up blank. That's what I thought. Nicole's voice got quieter again. Michael asks, and then he waits for me to answer. Really answer. So you fell for him? I didn't say that. You didn't have to. She looked up at me. Her eyes were red, but she'd stopped crying. I don't know what I feel for him. I just know that when I'm with him, I don't feel invisible. That hit harder than the cheating accusation, harder than the packed suitcases or the separate calendar or any of it. I made you feel invisible. It wasn't a question. She nodded anyway. When did it start? I don't know. Gradually. You stopped looking at me the way you used to. Stopped really seeing me. I became part of the furniture, part of the routine. Wake up, coffee, work, dinner, TV, bed. Every day the same. You could have said something. I did. You don't remember, do you? I tried to think back. Nothing came. Last March, I told you I felt disconnected, that I wanted us to do something different. You said you'd think about it, and then you never brought it up again. April, I suggested we take a weekend trip. You said you were too busy with the project at work. That project was May. I asked if we could go to couples counseling. You laughed and said we didn't need that. Each month hit like a punch. I'd forgotten all of it. Written it off as her being moody or needing attention. Never realized she was trying to save us. And then you stopped trying, I said. And then I stopped trying. Then you need to figure it out. But you can't figure it out here. What does that mean? It means I'm not going to sit here and be your safety net while you decide if I'm worth staying for. So you're making me leave? I'm giving you what you've been wanting. Permission. Nicole sat back down, not crying anymore, just staring at the floor, processing. The fight had gone out of her. I remained standing, giving her space to think. For several minutes, neither of us spoke. The apartment was silent except for the hum of the air conditioning. Nicole picked at her fingernails. An old nervous habit. I hadn't seen her do it in years. It made her seem younger. Reminded me of who she used to be. I sat down in the chair across from her. My legs felt heavy. Everything felt heavy. Do you remember the first time we came to look at this place? Nicole glanced up, confused by the change in direction. We weren't even married yet. I continued. You were so excited about the balcony. Said you'd always wanted a place with a view of the city. Her expression softened slightly. You thought it was too expensive. It was too expensive. But you said yes anyway. Because I wanted you to have it. I leaned back, looked around the room. We moved in on a Saturday in July. Remember? It was 103 degrees. The elevator was broken. We carried everything up 15 flights of stairs. You complained the entire time. You sang that stupid song from the 90s to annoy me more. A ghost of a smile crossed her face. I was trying to keep morale up. We ordered pizza that night. Sat on the floor because we hadn't unpacked the furniture yet. Pepperoni and jalapenos. You insisted on watching that rom-com. You fell asleep 20 minutes in. I was exhausted. You snored through the whole ending. We sat with that memory between us. The couple we'd been then. Young and hopeful and tired from moving boxes. I'd woken up on that bare floor with Nicole asleep against my shoulder, the credits rolling, both of us covered in a thin blanket she'd pulled from somewhere. When did we stop being those people? I asked. Nicole's smile faded. I don't know. Somewhere between the pizza and now. For years. For years. That's not very long. Long enough to forget how to talk to each other. I thought about Michael Carter. Thursday nights. Wine glass emojis. Someone who listened. Did you tell him about us? About me? Nicole nodded. Some. What did you say? That I felt stuck. That I didn't know how to fix it. Did he have advice? He said I should talk to you. I almost laughed. So he's not trying to steal you away. No. Nicole's voice was firm. He's married too. Happily, from what he says. He was just someone I could vent to without judgment. But you wanted more than venting. She didn't answer right away. Picked at her nails again. Maybe. I don't know. Sometimes I'd imagine what it would be like. But I never acted on it. Because you're married to me. Because I'm married to you. That's not a good enough reason to stay. Nicole looked at me then. Really looked at me. I know. I did love you, you know. I know. I don't know when it changed. I do. It was gradual. You got that promotion at work. Started spending more time with your new team. Came home later and later. She looked up. You noticed? Of course I noticed. You never said anything. Because I thought you'd come back to me. That it was just a phase. I should have been honest with you sooner. Yeah, you should have. I kept thinking I'd wake up one day and feel different. That I'd remember why I married you and everything would click back into place. And it didn't. No, it didn't. I knew something was wrong. I just kept hoping I was paranoid. You weren't. Have you cheated on me? No. But you've thought about it. She hesitated, then nodded. Yes. I closed my eyes for a moment. Took a breath. Opened them again. With Michael. Yes. Did you want something to happen? Yes. But I didn't act on it. You didn't cheat physically. But you checked out emotionally. And that's almost worse. I know. Because at least if you'd had an affair, I could point to a specific moment. A specific reason. But this was death by 1,000 cuts. I'm sorry. Stop apologizing. Just be honest. She took a shaky breath. I don't love you anymore. The words were quiet, but clear. I nodded. I know. I don't think I can get that feeling back. I don't think you can either. So what do? You take your suitcases. You stay with your sister or a friend. We give each other space. And then what? And then we figure out the rest. Something had fundamentally changed in the room. We weren't fighting anymore. Just two people acknowledging a painful truth. I never wanted to hurt you. But you did. I know. And staying would just hurt us both more. Nicole stood up. She'd made a decision. I could see it in her posture. She walked over to the suitcases. Looked down at them. You really packed everything. I did. You folded my clothes. I wasn't trying to be mean about it. I know. She turned back to look at me. I do care about you. You know that, right? I do. But caring isn't enough. No, it's not. She took another breath. I'll call Amanda. See if I can stay with her for a while. Okay. Nicole picked up her phone. Walked into the kitchen for privacy. I could hear her voice, low and strained. Hey, can I stay with you tonight? No, everything's fine. Well, no, it's not fine. I'll explain when I get there. She came back into the living room. She said yes. I'll need to come back for more stuff eventually. I'll box it up. You can pick it up when I'm not here if that's easier. That might be better. I'll call you when it's ready. She nodded. The logistics felt strange. Too practical for the moment. But necessary. Nicole gathered her laptop, her charger, slid them into her work bag, grabbed her purse from the entryway table, looked around the apartment. I lived here for 4 years. I know. It's weird. I thought I'd feel more. Something. What do you feel? Relieved. And sad. Both at the same time. Yeah, me too. She walked to the suitcases, grabbed the handles of 2 of them. I'll help you get them to your car. You don't have to. I know. I picked up the 3rd suitcase and the toiletry bag. We walked to the door together. The elevator ride was silent. We existed in this strange space now. No longer married in any real sense, but not yet divorced. The elevator dinged. Doors opened to the parking garage. Nicole's white Audi was in her assigned spot. I helped load the suitcases into the trunk. They fit, but just barely. She closed the trunk, turned to face me. The parking garage was cold. Fluorescent lights hummed overhead. Somewhere in the distance, a car alarm chirped off. Normal sounds. Everything felt normal except nothing was normal anymore. Thank you for not making this uglier than it had to be. I'm tired of fighting. Me too. She looked at the car, then back at me. Her keys were in her hand, fingers wrapped tight around them. I never wanted it to end like this. How did you want it to end? I don't know. I guess I never thought it would actually end. I thought we'd just keep going. Get old together without ever really being together. That's not a life. No, it's not. A car passed on the level above us. We both looked up at the sound, then back at each other. Will you be okay? She asked. Eventually. That's not a real answer. It's the only one I have. She nodded. Understood that. We stood there for a moment, not sure how to end this. A hug felt wrong, but so did just walking away. Finally, Nicole stepped forward, gave me a brief, awkward hug. I really am sorry. I know. She pulled back. I'll text you about picking up the rest of my stuff. Okay. Nicole got in her car, started the engine. I stepped back. She backed out of the parking spot, paused for a moment, made eye contact with me through the window. I raised my hand in a small wave. She nodded, then drove toward the exit. I stood in the parking garage watching her taillights disappear. The concrete was cold under my feet. Fluorescent lights buzzed overhead. My phone vibrated in my pocket. A text from my brother. Still coming Saturday? I looked at the message. Typed back. Yeah, I'll be there. Put my phone away. Headed back to the elevator. Back in the apartment, I closed the door behind me. The space was quiet. Different than before. The suitcases were gone. Nicole's laptop wasn't on the couch. Her wine glass was still on the coffee table. I picked it up, took it to the kitchen, washed it, dried it, put it away. I walked through the apartment noticing the things that were missing. The gap in the closet where her clothes had been. Her bathroom products gone from the counter. Her side of the bed unchanged, but somehow different. I stepped out onto the small balcony. The Austin skyline spread out before me. Buildings lit up against the night sky. Traffic sounds drifted up from the street below. October air, finally cooling down. I took a deep breath. I thought about the last 6 years. The good times. The slow decline. How I tried to hold on to something that was already gone. How Nicole had checked out long before tonight. I thought about the moment she said those words. How it crystallized everything into clarity. How I could have let it slide. Could have swallowed it like I'd swallowed so many other things. But I didn't. And now she was gone. And I was alone. But I wasn't as devastated as I thought I'd be. I stood on the balcony for a long time, watching the city. My phone stayed silent in my pocket. The apartment behind me was quiet. Empty, but not in a bad way. Just different. I took one more breath of the cool night air, then turned and went back inside. Closed the balcony door behind me. The lock clicked softly into place. The silence wasn't oppressive anymore. It was just silence. And for the first time in months, I felt like I could breathe. Dear listeners, that's our ending. If it resonated, subscribe to support the channel. See you next time.